Apple ProRes 5.7K, new 25MP sensor, new Venus engine, 4K 120fps 10-bit, Full HD 240fps 10-bit, adenoid range booster, 30 plus stops in vlog, unlimited recording time, 4-channel audio, 75fps burst shooting, flip screen, dust splash and freeze resistance, double slot for CF Express and SD cards, HDMI Type A, USB-C power supply, contrast AF of a new generation, and all of that for 2,199 euros. It's been almost 5 years since the GH5 was released, and now I hold the GH6 in my hands. The cameras are worlds apart. In the last few weeks I've put the camera through the paces and can't wait to show you the results. But before we do that, here's some footage straight from the GH6. Let's take a look at what you will receive. If you're going to order the GH6 without the kit, it does look like this. You will have the USB-C cable, the new BLK22 battery, the cable for the timecode, a strain relief, part 1 of the charger where the battery goes in, and part 2. Let's take a look at the Lumix GH6. The first impression is, wow! It feels good in the hand and has a great weight. The grip has become bigger and more ergonomic. The new MFT sensor looks good and the new flip screen is super handy. A rec button here and here. The 4-channel audio button right here. 2 customizable buttons plus the CF and SD card slot on the side. The BLK22 battery compartment, HDMI Type A and the USB-C. So let's get a CF card and start creating. If you order the camera directly with the 12 to 60mm kit lens, it does look like this. For comparison reasons, let us take a look at the S5, the GH5 Mark II and the new GH6. As you can see, the GH6 is the heaviest and also the biggest, but in my opinion the most ergonomic and it feels best in the hand. New level of performance. What features are new installed in the GH6? The new 25.2 megapixel sensor is a revolution for Panasonic. Along with the new Venus engine, this is a whole new system. An even stronger image stabilizer with 7.5 stops. The improved autofocus. This is by far the best autofocus I've ever tested in the Lumix camera. Let's start with the new 25.2 megapixel sensor in the new Venus engine. When I received the GH6 and saw the features, my first question to Panasonic was, it must have the same level of performance as being installed in the S1H and the S5, doesn't it? But that's not the case. They installed a completely new system which didn't exist before. Panasonic promises more details in the pictures, less noise and an improved autofocus, a new intelligent detail processing and a highly precise dual 3D color control. What does it mean exactly? You don't have to understand. It has great colors. You will have perfect pictures, less noise, and that's what matters. Unfortunately, it doesn't have global shutter. Lumix says the rolling shutter is supposed to be extremely reduced. It has been improved a little bit. 7.5 stops, 5-axis Dual I.S 2. Sounds complicated at first, basically means Panasonic has upgraded a feature they already own. For comparison, the GH5 only had 5 stops and it was extremely powerful. A new strong algorithm has been developed to maximize performance of the gyro data. In my GH6 promo video with the dancers, again I realized how powerful this stabilizer is and how much fun it is to work with it. By the way, you can find the results right here. 100 megapixels from the palm of your hand. If you ever had the experience to work with the Lumix S5, you probably know the whole system already. There is a 96 megapixel high-res mode, but it has never been created for situations like this. All of that is made possible with 8 pictures taken simultaneously. The new Venus engine enables RAW and JPEG in this high-res mode with motion blur correction and easy access via the mode wheel. Autofocus, an area where many critics like to set up and take notice. We'll stick with the contrast autofocus. It's not phase autofocus, but this new contrast autofocus really packs a punch. Panasonic promises 3 times faster work performance and a much improved autofocus power. As already known from the S5 and the S1H, it is adjustable and offers options for every situation. In the test, I never experienced a single failure. The autofocus reacted quickly and practically stuck on me. This is the best autofocus I had the privilege of testing on a Lumix camera. Apple ProRes at 5.7K, 50 or 60 FPS, 240 FPS, Full HD, 4:2 10-bit, perfect for color grading. Full HD can reach up to 300 FPS with 10-bit. Of course, the camera also have an anamorphic mode. Let's talk about Apple ProRes. It's the first time ever this Apple ProRes codec has been installed in the camera internally. Basically means I don't need an external Ninja 5 anymore to record in Apple ProRes. The resolution is 5.7K, so you can zoom in up to 3 times without a loss of quality. The firmware update will deliver 4K in Full HD. ProRes delivers high quality at a low processing complexity and compared to uncompressed videos, a low data rate. Nevertheless, the codec offers a lot of freedom. Such a powerful performance speed needs stronger cards, of course. That's why the GH6 installed CF cards for the first time. Here I have the 1TB of VEXes CF Express Typ B, and it's totally worth the money, trust me. I advise you to pay attention to the constant data speed of the card. This should be at least 800 megabytes per second. One of the recording modes offers 4K in 50 or 60 FPS at 800 megabytes per second. So the all-intra of the GH6. This one is just like many other modes, only approved to powerful CF cards. So modes like this are not reachable or possible to select if you haven't entered a CF card in the first slot. It is so obvious, if you want to have high-end performance, you have to bring a high-end memory card. Pretty soon there will be another review about that topic on my channel. Thank you, Panasonic. I don't know how many times I ask you to get 120 FPS in 4K without any crop. And the best thing, you have autofocus and sound. It offers so many more possibilities in post and delivers a great slow motion. I'm pretty much into color grading, and when I heard the new GH6 will deliver 240 FPS in Full HD in 10-bit with 4:2 internally, I was so excited and happy about that new feature. No more mismatched skin tones in slow motion. And even if you want to have 300 FPS, so 12 times slow motion, you will get 10-bit. Let's talk about the Dynamic Range Booster. The Dynamic Range Booster offers the possibility to create an HDR in real time with one exposure only. User-friendly, this has now been installed and transferred into the GH6. A great new feature. If you choose a sensor output of 60 FPS or less, you can select the Dynamic Range Booster. It is debatable whether it is so beneficial to work with an ISO of 2000 on a sunny day. And unlimited recording time is a standard for every filmmaker. Possible through an active cooling, no passive cooling as we know from the GH5, but an active cooling as installed in the S1H. Let's talk about the 4-channel audio. You can even reach high-res 96 kHz and 24-bit via an external microphone along with the DMW. You're in control of 4 separate channels. With just the push of a button, you have all the options to achieve everything you want with additional audio. Panasonic has upgraded the audio significantly. These video assistants should be known to everyone who own a Lumix S5 or Lumix S1H. We are talking about the red frame indicator, the Luma Sport meter or the wave monitor. Lumix listens to the voices on the market, sees what the community says and is developing the products further and further accordingly. This also applies on the new flip screen. The flip screen of the S5 got in the way so many times. Panasonic has found an ingenious solution here. and you will never touch any cable again.
In my film production company, we own a EVA1. If you record an event and have multiple cameras, the time code is worth a mint. A fundamental feature of Panasonic is the powerful firmware upgrade.
You don't buy a camera to exchange it in the next 2 years because the competition is getting stronger. Instead, you will have this camera for 3, 4, 5 or more years. Panasonic has announced another firmware upgrade on the GH6. It will deliver 4K in Apple ProRes, Photo HD in Apple ProRes, SSD direct recording via USB-C will be possible, and 4K 120 FPS externally via HDMI cable on the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus in RAW.
Time for a conclusion, a summary of pros and cons. We start with the cons. A pity is the loss of the quick and slow button I used to work with on the S5 so many times. In the beginning, it takes some time to find the right button at the right place. For example, I don't know how many times I pushed the 4-channel audio button instead of the rec button. They are so close to each other, and yeah, accidentally I pushed the rec button right here so many times. But that's the kind of stuff you get used to. I see advantages and disadvantages with the CF cards. Many creators out there only have SD cards and need to buy the new CF Typ B cards, and they are pretty expensive. I've heard there will be a special GH6 offer with the CF card included, so watch out for that. Of course, the new BLK22 batteries are more powerful, but the active cooling system and the extreme performance of the GH6 consume more battery life. I need to say, all tests were made with the pre-production sample I have here right now. Let's talk about the pros. It has HDMI Typ A, USB-C for charging input and everything else. It's small and powerful. It has the new BLK22 batteries. In my eyes, it has the perfect weight. I really like the ergodynamic, how it lies in the hand. Customizable buttons. You have more rec buttons and you have the 4-channel audio. The new Venus engine is so powerful. A complete new level of performance. An even greater image stabilizer. You can shoot 100 megapixels straight from the hand in RAW. You have Apple ProRes internally. This has never happened before. There's no crop inside the GH6 anymore. Crop is a thing of the past. A slow motion with 240 FPS, which is made for color grading. And if you want to get a slower slow motion, the camera delivers 300 FPS. Everyone who shoots anamorphic loves the 5.8K in 10-bit. You will get a dynamic range booster. The new contrast autofocus with 315 area DFD. By far the best autofocus I've ever used in a Lumix camera. Today I shot an autofocus comparison. I will upload that one in the next days. The autofocus of the GH6, it works so fast and I'm totally loving it, even though it's contrast based. 75 frames per second in burst shooting mode. It is perfect for every running gun type. You always have a good look on the screen. And as the screen, the viewfinder is awesome as well. By having an active cooling, the camera could work in the desert by 40 degrees. I mean, other brands fail in situations like this after just 1 or 2 minutes. As you can see, I'm thrilled. I think it's a camera which will clearly dominate in the upcoming years. You will get a lot out of it and you will just be happy. I think that was the most elaborate review I've ever done. Soon there will be a lot of more videos about the GH6 on my channel. I will do a cage review, I will do autofocus comparison like I mentioned, and you can see the commercial and behind the scenes. I will upload a bunch of stuff in the next weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and see you next time. Bye.